Welcome fellow Kiss fans, welcome to It's All For You Demons, celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan today in the basement celebrating Halloween. And October 29th, 1976 was a huge momentous day for the band as the Paul Lynde Halloween Special aired and really shot the band through the atmosphere and made them a living room sensation. Children watching that Paul Lynde Halloween Special were completely turned on to this band. Around the same time, I believe they appeared in the Howard the Duck comic book. They were becoming Kiss of the 70s. They, had been this touring phenomenon and released a plethora of amazing albums up to that point, and they were about to break through that moment that I love, that TG&Y era where they jump from the record store shelf onto the toy store shelf, and this Paul Lynde Halloween Special is kind of the birth of that. So I thought today we would celebrate the fun of the Paul Lynde Halloween Special. And of that sort of pre-mass merchandising boom, the band appeared in these two issues of Howard the Duck comic book, issue 12 and 13 from May and June 1977. So it's very clear that around the Paul Lynde Halloween Special, this deal would have been made and possibly stories written that the band was going to appear in these issues. Issue 12, they do not appear until the final frame of the comic, and it's this, looking very different than they did in the Marvel Super Special. This is the panel with Kiss, and this is the final panel of the comic book. These Howard the Duck comic books, I'm not a huge comic book guy, but these things are weird. It's just hard to kind of get into, but cool to have if you're a collector. And then issue 13, Omen of the Exorcist. I'm sure a lot of parents loved that, or a lot of kids loved, the whole satanic tie. But Kiss is in it from the beginning. Straight off the front panel, again, looking rather different than they did in the Marvel Super Special. But there it is. Kiss in comic book form for the first time ever. Pretty historic, pretty fun. Paul shooting that beam out of his eye. You don't get any more fun than that, and around Halloween, it's always nice to visit a satanic comic book. As in the final panel of this comic book, Howard the Duck becomes possessed and essentially turns in to the son of Satan. I told you this band's satanic. Now back to Paul Lynde. One of the first things I absolutely love about the Paul Lynde Halloween Special on DVD is this opening statement. The fact that the Paul Lynde Special aired October 29th, 1976 and was never seen again, that is awesome. And the fact that for the longest time they believed that no master tapes existed, that is so cool. Like a moment in time, especially a huge moment like this for Kiss, a moment in time could have been easily erased had this team of like researchers. I would love to do this for a living. This team of like pop culture researchers found this footage and mastered it for DVD and for preservation. I think that's awesome. I think pop culture, anything pop culture, is something that should be kept as history and celebrated and waxed upon and enjoyed. So cool that this special is able to be seen today and on digital video disc for us all to enjoy every Halloween. And you even gotta love the opening menu. I mean, the cheesy songs, the graphics of the pumpkins, Paul Lynde standing there all decadent, it's so much fun. Paul Lynde was such a great character on Bewitched that you just gotta love the guy. You just gotta have fun with him, and he's just like a bundle of fun, and that's what this special is, and that's why I want to celebrate it today. Now, as a youngster myself in the late 80s, I learned a lot about Kiss through this magazine right here. And this magazine in the timeline shows the Paul Lynde Halloween Special as a milestone in the band's history from 74 to 76. Much celebrated. So I knew of its existence, but it wasn't until this comic book, a wonderful comic book by Hard Rock Comics called Kiss Prehistory. It was a 3-part issue. Great comic books if you can ever find these. This comic book detailed the Paul Lynde Halloween Special perfectly, and even talked about Gene being super fascinated that the witch from The Wizard of Oz was part of this special. As you know, Gene, huge pop culture guy. Wizard of Oz, a huge influence on his life as a youngster. And I'm sure he was in hog heaven filming this special, and there you have it. The youth of America being turned on to Kiss via the Paul Lynde Halloween Special. And variety shows like the Paul Lynde Halloween Special were, a huge part of the 70s. I remember like Donnie and Marie dressing up like stormtroopers, and that was huge in our house. And that was kind of the floodgates that opened my family to becoming huge Star Wars fans. And it was all that variety TV show sort of magic, and that's what this Paul Lynde Special is.
Whoopie. It's the Paul Lynde Halloween Special, starring Paul Lynde, with Paul's special guests, Tim Conway, Roz Pinky Tuscadero Kelly, Margaret Hamilton, Billy Hayes, Billy Barty, special guest star Florence Henderson, a special appearance by Betty White, and a rock and roll explosion, Kiss. And now, the Paul Lynde Halloween Special.
Even if you weren't a Kiss fan in 1976 and you were just tuning in to that Paul Lynde Halloween Special, man, I just can't even imagine how fun this would be to watch as a child in 1976. It would have just been Halloween time, the magic would have been in the air, the fun would have been never ending. It's kind of like growing up and even in adulthood when the Peanuts special, Halloween special's on, you gotta tune into it because that is the fun of the season, and I imagine that this special was plenty of that fun. How awesome is this suit? I would love to wear this during Halloween time. Imagine showing up to the office in this.
As you know, there's a real scary holiday coming up. Election Day.
And even though it's not as scary as, hi Larger March, even though it's not as scary as Alice Cooper's The Nightmare special, a lot of this special reminds me very much of that. The costumes, the dance numbers, totally reminds me of that Alice Cooper special. It has that same kind of fun and magic. That's a good watch if you need a good October watch. Alice Cooper, The Nightmare. And again, just from a pop culture standpoint, you gotta admit, seeing Margaret Hamilton in the witch costume again, that's pretty badass. That is movie history. I mean, I don't think you get bigger than The Wizard of Oz. I mean, that's huge, and seeing that again, it's pretty freaking sweet. Can you have a 1970s special without Betty White? Also kind of fun to think about, if you read Ace's book, they referred to cocaine as Betty White. Ace had to have met her on this set, so kind of wonder if maybe that's when that little nickname was invented. Betty White. Cocaine. Now the skits may have been boring, but for a 9, 10, 11-year-old boy in 1976, staring at Pinky Tuscadero wouldn't have been boring at all. Am I the only one that kind of thinks Florence Henderson is hot? I can't be the only one, right? does kind of put it in perspective if you think about a child watching this special in 1976, being kind of bored with these kind of songs, and then Kiss comes on.
Oh, they make such very soothing, quiet dinner music. You'll love them. We call them Kiss. Okay, boys, play something a little peaceful for Mr. Lynde.
Boom! Blow the doors right off of your childhood, and how could you not be a Kiss fan after seeing that? And I'm not gonna lie, I love the fact that, you know, the band comes out and surrounds Peter at the piano. I love the fact that they do that on the End of the Road show. Hold your comments on Eric Singer singing Beth. That's not my point. I love the fact that the band sort of tipped the hat to the Paul Lynde Special by doing that every night on this tour. I don't know if it was a tip of the hat. I took it as a tip of the hat. I thought it was super cool. I was like, holy crap. That's from the Paul Lynde Halloween Special, and that is fun.
You have just been the greatest. Thank you for making me feel wanted. And thank you for inviting us into your homes tonight with our Halloween Special. I hope we were a howling success.
So there you have the fun of the Paul Lynde Halloween Special. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Thank you for waxing this gem of fun that is so much fun to watch this time of year around Halloween time. Always do yourself a favor. Watch the Peanuts Halloween Special. Watch Halloween 1978, of course. And as a Kiss fan, you gotta watch Phantom of the Park, and you have to watch the Paul Lynde Halloween Special. It's so much fun. Thank you for hanging with me and waxing this. Comment time. Did you watch the Paul Lynde Halloween Special as a kid? October 29th, 1976. Were you one of the kids that were transformed into a member of the Kiss Army because of this special? Leave those comments below. Let's celebrate the fun of being a Kiss fan down in those comments. Again, if you want to be a pen pal with me, old school style, like they did in 1976, my P.O. Box information is below. Send me a postcard, include your return address, and I will write you back, and we will be pen pals, old school style, like they did in 1976, like they did around the era of the Paul Lynde Halloween Special. Once again, thank you for hanging with me. Take care, be safe. Let's find those doggies. And here they are. Be good to your babies. Spay, neuter, microchip. Thanks for hanging with me. Take care, be safe. I will talk to you soon. Getting cozy? It's nap time. It's